But a lot of the ideas that we took for our anti-bullying kind of complement what PBS is doing. And so we thought that it was a really good, nice match because it's kind of two programs with the same goal in mind. And so the students can see it from kind of two different perspectives. Our anti-bullying campaign is To Be Kind. And so we're just focusing on how we generally treat each other, how to be nice to one another. It's the simple things that you do that can change an entire day for somebody, whether they're somebody who's been picked on or somebody who's been mean to somebody else. If you're kind to them, it makes them stop and think for a second. Okay, if you're the person that's always being picked on, hey wait, somebody does notice me and somebody's smiling at me, they're not just picking on me. Or if they're the person who's being mean, they're like, wait a second, why is this person being nice to me? So it's kind of giving them that thought factor of, wait a second, somebody's being kind to me, this is new for me, what is going on? But then it starts to eventually spread, and then they realize that, hey, I'm getting a better reaction from people by being nice to them than I am by being mean, or I've been picked on and I'm starting to see that there are some good people out there. I don't need to look so negatively at everything. So I sat down in my class and I said, we need to focus on bullying. It needs to stop. There's no reason that kids need to come to school and feel afraid to come to school, and that's what bullying does. It makes people feel afraid. And so we started talking about it and we started figuring out, okay, how do we do this? Stop picking on people, don't do this, don't do that. All right, well, let's take a different route. How do we completely change bullying without bringing up all the negative things that people do? And then we got into a whole conversation about how do you differentiate bullying? It's the verbal abuse, it's the text messages, it's the Facebooking, it's all those things now with so many more technological advances that are creating creating a wider world for people to be felt as if they're put down. That started out as Brantley Be Kind. And then we talked about, okay, now how do we take this viral? How do we take it to Facebook or whatever social media? How do we do that in order to get kids to see that it's not just at school either, it's outside of that? And so all the kids know about TBH, which is to be honest. They'll put TBH on their Facebook and whatever they're being honest about. So one of the kids in class said, well, what if we did TBK, To Be Kind? And you can post TBK on people's websites or on their Facebooks, and you give a kind compliment instead of putting them down or something like that. So we launched TBK on Facebook.
And the culture of the school is changing. It's nothing you can't measure. It's just people say it seems nicer here. You can't really give it a statistic, but it's just, kids say thank you. They open doors. It's just a little culture of kindness, I guess, and that trying to be positive and emphasizing the positive things.